So YouTube is cracking down hard on ad blockers. And if you use an ad blocker, you may have started seeing these pop-ups recently. Now there may be ways around this, and I am certainly not going to go into how you can do that in this video, because you should be aware that blocking ads is a violation of YouTube's terms of service. Now if you violate YouTube's terms of service, Google may close your accounts and ban you from using some or all of Google's services, which includes access to popular services like Gmail and YouTube. So in the past week, I've been seeing these ad blocker warnings on all of my devices. And as someone who has a YouTube channel, albeit not a large channel, but a channel that I have put a lot of work into, I do not want to lose that. So I am taking this threat from YouTube seriously, and I have disabled all of my ad blockers on YouTube.com. Now for those of us old enough to remember free-to-air television, and yes I do actually mean that, because I haven't viewed free-to-air television for years, but in every half-hour program, there was usually a number of ad breaks, and that was considered acceptable. And watching ads on YouTube, unless you pay for premium of course, I think is an acceptable way for YouTube to fund their service. But, and there it is, the butt of the situation. Free-to-air television, in Australia at least, is governed by Free TV Australia, and the ads shown on free-to-air television must not only meet the standards set by Free TV Australia, but also the Advertising Standards Bureau. Now the first ad I see since disabling my ad blockers is an ad for an AI trading platform that says I can earn hundreds of thousands of dollars per trade. Essentially, get rich by doing nothing. Now I have not specifically signed up to test this, but I have seen enough get-rich-quick scams to know this seems off. I also saw an ad for Latin Vibe, meet ladies in my area. And again, looking into the terms on that site, you can see there is a clear distinction between content makers and content consumers, as they call it. Escorts and clients is what they really mean. Now I have nothing against the sex industry, but equivocating an escort service with a dating service is misleading and disingenuous. And Australia has very strict rules on misleading advertising. Not to mention, Free TV Australia and the Advertising Standards Bureau both have very strict regulations on advertising adult products. Do you remember those phone sex ads that used to appear after midnight, when children are most likely not watching? Now, these ads appear during the day in front of my whole family, and yet I have to limit using the word fuck at the risk of being demonetized, because apparently the F word has magic powers or something. And I'm not even mentioning how many ads I've seen for Crown Casino in the past week. And finally, I have not seen one of these in the past week, but my mobile devices that have never had any ad blocking features, the amount of fake Mr. Beast ads promising to give away $1,000 to everyone who clicks a link and then give away all their personal information. Spoiler alert, there is no prize money. Now I am able to look at these and identify the scams, but children may not, and I can say that my devices are viewed by people of all ages. So in conclusion, I get it. I get why YouTube doesn't want people to use ad blockers, and I don't necessarily think that is a bad thing. YouTube needs to at least cover its costs, and it's expensive to host this volume of content and stream it all over the world. If YouTube is not profitable, it may not exist in the future. I personally like YouTube, though I complain a lot about it. It is one of my main sources of entertainment. But for fuck's sake, Google, tighten up your advertising standards, or this push to ban ad blockers may cause more harm than good. If I was scammed by an ad on YouTube, I'd stop using the platform. If I had a gambling problem, I'd stop using the platform. Viable alternatives do exist. I have been syncing this channel with Rumble and am currently in the process of setting up with Odyssey, so if you're on those platforms, you can still see our content. And many other creators are doing the same. So like I said, I have no problem with legitimate ads, but I do have a problem with Google advertising adult services to people of all ages. And I have an even bigger problem with Google allowing blatant scams to be advertised on their platform.